Uh-oh. Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
What happened to the excitement you guys had to drink on Sundays? What, now that it's getting nice out, you're too afraid to drink on a Sunday because you don't want to be hungover at work tomorrow? Going to work with a hangover is just a part of being an adult. And if you work with a hangover, then that means you're getting paid to be hungover. And who doesn't want to get paid to be hungover? So grab a few cold ones and get ready to get after it. Grow up.
Our 60 Minutes profile this week is on Jack Fornashari, a seemingly healthy young man who just received some devastating news.
So your friend from high school is doing a destination wedding?
Yes.
So sorry. Where is it?
Hawaii. Fuck. It's also Disney themed, so.
Sometimes life deals you a bad hand or takes away a good hand you were already dealt. And sometimes a kid you went to high school with makes you spend thousands of dollars to watch him and his freak Disney adult wife tie the knot.
When is it?
It's on Christmas Eve.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I sat down with the couple in question to learn more.
Have either of you ever thought about anyone but your fucking selves?
No.
Not really. Okay. Well, I hope your first baby is sick and has health problems.
How much do you drink?
I'd say I'm good for about 10 or 12.
Okay. 10 or 12 a week? That's not bad.
About a week? Well,
You drink 10 or 12 beers a day?
you counting beers too?
Yes, of course.
There we are. My one chore for the day is done. And now I'm ready for my reward. And my reward, of course, 16 ounces of hard liquor. 16 ounces of hard liquor has fewer calories than most Cheesecake Factory entrees. And it makes you feel great. So go ahead and reward yourself with 16 ounces of hard liquor.
Drink?
You know, I would love...
I don't need a whole life story, just yes or no.
Yes.
Drink? Okay.
This is a Guinness. They say it's the same as eating 10 slices of bread, but I never woke up naked after 10 slices of bread.
Whoa, hey, turn that up, whoa. Okay, yeah. Holy, that's like 3 buses of kids they just saved.
I know.
Oh my god, and a plane. They caught the plane from falling. Yeah, do you see this? Wow. What a bunch of freaks. What a bunch of freaking losers.
Bitch, I don't play. I'm petty and I'm known to throw shade. Hating ho, please just go. Don't get cute. Just walk away. Girl, bye. Bitch, listen. Fuck you. Bitch, listen. Fuck you. Get lost, boo-boo.
Let me ask you something. When you come in on Monday and you're not feeling real well, does anyone ever say to you, sounds like someone has a case of the Mondays?
No. No, man. Shit, no, man. I believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that, man.
From Filthy Martini Studios in Ontario, California, it's the Foos Show!
Hey, what is up, everyone? I am Joe C.
And I'm Steph.
Thank you all so very much for listening into the Foos Show, and a special thanks to you Foos who subscribe, rate, review, and share the pod with your fellow Foos. Remember to follow, like, and comment on our Instagram and TikTok at Foo Show. That's FOO Bar Show and FOOBarshow.com, and we'll foo it up like a couple of foos. Ain't that right, Steph?
That's right.
Steph, today's going to be a good show. You want to know why?
Why?
Because we have a guest today. We have Memory Lame. That's with an M. Memory Lame from Massachusetts. I know I was going to say Worcester, but it's Worcester. Where? How did they say it?
I don't know. I still don't know. I don't want to butcher it either.
Yeah, it's like the sauce, right?
Absolutely not. We'll
let them say it. We'll let them say it. It was pre-recorded, so that already happened. Cool group of guys, Ron, Joey, Phil from Memory Lane. I really enjoyed their fucking music, man. When you turned me on to them, they really took me back to like 1995 to 1998 vibes.
I literally listened to like 30 seconds of their music, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta contact them." And then
and
I love this band.
So yeah, we had a good discussion with them. So that's going to be coming up after this intro banter. But before we go into that, Steph, happy birthday!
Thank you.
Your birthday was on May the 4th.
Yes.
Saturday, May the 4th. And, prior to that, we went to the Chain Reaction in Anaheim to check out a couple of bands, notably one from Ireland that you're into.
Yes. I had been following Grey Wind, who's a band from Ireland. And when they said they were coming to California, I was like, oh, please let it be close by instead of, usually they'll play a show up north or something like that. But they were at the Chain Reaction, and I immediately grabbed tickets.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Chain Reaction?
Yeah, I mean, we were just there. We were there to go see Antagonists' last show.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, what was that, a couple months ago?
Yeah.
In March or something?
Yeah, it was like earlier this year.
Yeah, and I've been to Chain Reaction tons of times, and so it's just one of those like places in Southern California that's accessible to small indie bands, that they could play there. But we've had like tons of like huge bands play there. I think like Thursday's gone through there. Bunch of bands that we know and love at the drive-in. Bunch of those kinds of bands.
I can't remember if like Taking Back Sunday just went through there. Oh no, or if it was a different.
I'm sure at some point they did.
Emo band. No, I think just recently.
Oh,
like there was a stint of emo bands that went through there.
They almost went out of business during the pandemic too.
Yeah,
and a bunch of bands got together and funded them so that they can stay above water. So many consider that place to be a very, very important venue in Southern California for those bands that are just starting out and growing and that kind of thing. So anyway, we saw Grey Wind.
Oh man, and we met them after the show. They're super nice.
Yeah, they're sweet.
So sweet.
The brother and sister outfit, right?
Yep.
And all the other bands were pretty great too.
Yeah, there was Sunburnt, Boys of Fall, and
the other guys.
Good Times. I think Good Times, Good Vibes.
Good Vibes, Good Times, Good Times. No. Whatever.
Anyway, this
good.
is why this is called the Food Bar Show. Because we can never remember anything.
Yeah. But and then Saturday was your birthday. I got you some bookends from Fender.
Oh yes,
it's pretty much a Stratocaster that's cut in half.
Thank
and
you very much.
Some bookends and something that came in the mail because we just talked to the CEO. I got you the Black Mold game.
That's right.
That
I cannot wait to play it.
Mm-hmm.
Cannot wait.
Yeah,
thank you.
So that's exciting.
Thank you for the gifts.
And then we went to Hollywood, where we saw. Well, we went to the Scum and Villainy, which is like that Star Wars cantina type of bar, and they were doing the whole May the 4th thing there.
Hell yeah, it was all Star Wars themed. I actually thought that there was going to be a long line to get in because it's a pretty tight space. But there was a good amount of people coming and going during the time that we got there. Mm-hmm. So we just walked right in.
We got pretty tossed. I like the name of my first drink. That's No Moonshine. And then you got the blue milk.
Blue milk, yes.
You got
of course,
blue milk.
You got to start off with that.
And then what else did we get?
I got...
Drop It Like It's Hoth.
Drop It Like It's Hoth. Very peanut buttery flavor because of the screwball whiskey that's in there, which is that peanut butter whiskey.
And isn't like rum chata in that too?
I think so.
Yeah. And then what was the other one I got? I got a bunch of beers.
Well, you got a bunch of beers, and then I finished it off with Qui-Gon gin and juice.
There it is.
Let me just tell you, there's a lot of gin in there.
Yeah, they didn't fuck around with the gin that they gave you there. You got pretty. We both got pretty tossed, and then we walked over to the Beetle House.
Yes,
which is a Beetlejuice themed bar that was like a mile away, but like a 25-minute walk from there, which is cool because it was just, Hollywood Boulevard, so you see all the crazy crap happening.
And it really is true. Like when you're in Hollywood Boulevard, you can't help but just call out all of the names on the stars that you see. Mm-hmm. You're like, oh, there's that person. There's this person. Like, oh, they're right next to each other? That makes sense.
Oh, yeah. Lucille Ball and Cantinflas were neighbors.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Which is pretty cool. Two contemporaries, one from the U.S., one from Mexico.
But I will say that Hollywood Boulevard is not a bathroom-friendly place because we had been drinking.
A lot.
And we had to walk. Just, like a 20-minute walk over to the next place. And I was like, we got to find a bathroom.
Yeah, you were about to explode. And then I'm like, oh, great, a Buffalo Wild Wings. And then and I just walk in. I was like, yeah, we're going to the bar. And we went right into the bathroom, and then we got the hell out of there. But that was cool. I mean, we got one of those fishbowl drinks from the Beetlejuice. The bottom of it was littered with nerds. That thing was just sugar. It was all sugar.
It's something that I probably would have gotten like when I initially turned 21. It's like, I want all the sugary drinks. I don't know anything about alcohol.
Right. That was that fits that description.
That would be that drink.
And then we went to go hang out with your parents.
Yep.
Prior to all that, though, we went to my, as reported last week, we went to my godson's first communion. That was cool that we were in and out of there within the hour. Showed our faces, gave him his card, and got the hell out of there.
Yep.
Yeah. They were passing out rosaries.
He leveled up.
He leveled up into his Catholicism, into First Communion. We haven't seen his final form.
Hold on. Before we continue, can you please stop shaking the table? Because this microphone is just like all over the place.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Continue.
And that was that. So we got some rosaries, and we treated them like Pokemon cards. So I got Jesus, which he only has one hit point. I gotta imagine. And once he's out, he's in the discard pile for like 3 turns.
But he's hard to defeat.
Right.
And he pretty much, he's the healer.
He respawns.
He's the healer, right? So you pull him out.
Yeah. And then my cousin got the Archangel.
Uh-huh.
So that one's got all kinds of hit points.
He couldn't stop laughing when you said that.
And then St. Joseph, he's got to be like a Charmeleon, I got to imagine.
Yeah.
That was at St. Joseph's Church, so they were passing that one out.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not a Catholic anymore, but it's funny.
You know what? It was a nice time to get the family together. And
yeah, I got to see my aunt and uncle and my cousins and that kind of thing. So yeah, it was great. Great to see everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got even more drunk when we hung out with your parents that evening.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And here we are.
My mom's just like, you want a pitcher of sangria? And I was like, no.
And they bought
I can't drink anymore.
Yeah. And then we're going to continue drinking tonight. Right after we're done doing this podcast, we're going to go to... Have we talked about the Obscure on this podcast before?
Yes, we have.
It's in the Arts District in LA. I'd say a solid 45 minutes from where we are right now in Ontario. And it's like this, for those who didn't listen to that episode, it's like this, what would you call it? It's very Harry Potter-esque kind of thing.
I wouldn't
fantasy.
I wouldn't classify it as like
goth.
Yes, it's more like goth, distillery,
Renaissance fairish kind of thing.
No, not even that. No, it's just, when you go in, it's like a very dark ambiance, and it really does have that like gothic feel to it, with the names of the drinks and the types of drinks that you get. But like, I wouldn't label it as like a fantasy or like a Harry Potter type thing, because it doesn't have any like nerdy vibes associated with it at all.
No,
it's very
gothic.
It's more of a gothic feel.
Yeah, and then so they have this thing where they're the only distillery in California, I think, or in LA think California, that is also a distributor of their own liquors. So they're all, I guess that used to be a law where you couldn't do that. You had to go through a middleman, a distributor. So they sell what they make, what they create there. And so you get, you prepay it. It's like what, like $70 or something like that, $75?
Yeah, it depends on the night.
And you get like a double shot of the actual spirit, which could be a whiskey, a vodka, a gin that they made there, or a brandy or something like that. And then with that, they make a cocktail. So you get like 6 drinks, really. You get the double shots of each of those spirits, and then they give you the cocktail that they made with those spirits. By the end, you're pretty tipsy.
Yeah.
And then they go on and describe, what inspired the cocktail that they created, the history behind, like, let's just say an old fashioned. They teach you everything that goes on with that spirit that they're showing you there. And it's very entertaining. And you got some guy like painting a picture in the background.
Yeah, and those are well-known artists too. So
comic book artists.
So yeah, when we were there the first time, it was a Marvel Comics illustrator.
Yeah.
Who was doing his solo work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very nice, very beautiful. So he'll start and finish one piece in the entire night. So it's a 2-hour stay.
Yeah. So we're going to go do that. So I'm looking forward to that. And we need to get you some morning recovery because you're going to be hungover as shit tomorrow if we don't.
Yeah. I mean, I thought I was going to be drunk yesterday, but turns out you got more drunk than I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't even enjoy it because I had to babysit you
That's
on my
not
birthday.
True. That's not true. What? You did not have to babysit me at all.
I have to. I subconsciously have to because I know that you're going to get so drunk and you're going to be like, let's celebrate. And I'm like, well, I should probably not get that drunk just in case I got to drive
That's
home.
on you. That's on you. Anyway, Steph, that's really all we have to say. We're excited to finish off, like the X-Men and all the other stuff that we brought up at last week's podcast. The majority of this podcast is going to be interviewing these guys over at Memory Lane. Excited to speak with them. But let's see. What else? We're going to see Planet of the Apes next week.
Oh, for the Foos birthday?
Foos birthday. It's Mother's Day next week. So there's going to be all kinds of all that hooey and applesauce going on.
Yeah.
But do you want to just get into the music highlights? No geeking out today. It's just music highlights.
Music highlights. Let's
right.
do it.
All right, here we go. All right, well, on here we have Ron, Joey, and Phil of Memory Lane. Not to be confused with Memory Lane. I think that's their arch rivals that I've seen online. But they're the best punk act of Worcester in Massachusetts, man. We have been checking them out. And very nostalgic and very melodic stuff that I love to hear from these guys. But anyway, what's up, guys? How you doing?
How's it going? Good, how are you?
Doing well, man. Doing well. Thanks for jumping on. I think we should give the thanks to Steph for finding you guys on Instagram.
Yes.
She shared your guys' link over to my personal one, and I started checking you guys out. And like I said earlier, it's rather nostalgic. I don't know how old you guys are, but it's taking me back to like 1996 kind of vibes. Are you guys familiar with a band called Local H from Illinois?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like totally like giving me those kinds of vibes, and I love that stuff, dude. So like kudos. Really love what you guys are up to. You just had a single release back last month, correct?
Yeah. That was Time Blind.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of like a different approach to songwriting for us. Usually, like I'll come with like a guitar riff, and we'll build upon that.
Yeah.
And this one, we all just kind of jumped in when we felt it was appropriate. It started as a jam, and we started playing it live as an instrumental. And shortly after, like the song just kind of fell together with like lyrics and how we wanted it to sound.
Yeah.
So it was a cool way to write a song. And
it was kind of more of like an exploration kind of a thing, where normally, sometimes it's like, okay, bass, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. But this was more of like, okay, let's try to get, working more off of a feel and less of like, okay, we know where this is going to go. Instead, let's just try to feel it out and see. Take that as an inspiration instead of being so strict about it.
Yeah, this is one of your more longer songs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
very much of a jam.
It's kind of, it stayed very true to like how the jam was originally composed, where it was very like free form at first, but then like we kind of figured out like, all right, this part sounds good here, this part sounds good here, and then we'll just like kind of feel it out for the recording and when we play it live. So it's pretty fun.
So I gather that this was a rather unique way to write a song. How normally do you guys get together to write songs?
Usually now it's kind of taken that approach where we'll start it off with a jam. But usually like that in the past, like I would come with a guitar riff already in mind.
Yeah.
And then I'd either have like a drum part that like I kind of felt like would have, accompany that part. And I would say, hey, Joey, try play something like this. And he would turn it into his own thing. And it would also complement the guitar riff. Or like Phil would bring in a song that he had already had written. And we would just kind of collaborate on like how the song should sound.
Yeah.
Definitely one cool thing that I gathered, I can't name the songs per se, but there's been, I feel like, a handful of songs where we've just been messing around in practice, and I'd be getting my drums set up, and then like either Ron or Phil will just start playing something cool, and even if it's not like per se like written yet, I'll be like, hey, let's jam on that, play that again. Even if they're just like tuning or something cool that I hear, I'm like, hey, play that again, let's work on that. So
nice.
I would say with the single greatest tool I think that we've used with songwriting is actually just a little field recorder that I've just been bringing to practice for the past year or so, and just leaving it on the whole time. Like it's not super expensive. I think it was like a little bit under $100, but it's good enough to like capture everything pretty well. And then just kind of having that available, because how many times are you going off the jam or you're just playing around and like hit that little bit of magic and then you can never get it again.
Yeah, you forget what chords were played and
so,
that kind of thing. Yeah, for sure.
So just having that, just be able to capture the ideas and like not make sure nothing just goes out into the air. I think that it's definitely helped us shape the songs, the new ones for sure.
I wanted to get into you guys winning that recent award, Best Punk Act of Worcester. Was that like a city thing, or like who put that together?
So there's this like magazine in Worcester called Pulse, and I think they do other stuff.
Am I saying it wrong?
They sponsor.
How do you say that?
So I was gonna bring it up. So it's pronounced Worcester.
Okay.
It's a common mistake.
Yeah.
Everyone pronounces it like incorrectly, and until you meet a true Worcesterite, they'll like let you know.
Okay. But if you want to say it like us, though, it's Worcester. WOOSTAH.
Okay.
Okay, or
cool.
Worcester.
Yeah.
They do this like yearly. So they had this. They printed it out in their magazine, and people can vote online, and so you just share the link, and then if you get enough people to vote for you, then you can make it to the semifinals, and then eventually the finals, and then we had a lot of help from like our friends and our bands and our families, and so like it was definitely like really cool to do something like that.
Come on time too, yeah. How many bands were entered?
I'm sorry?
How many bands were entered?
So it depended on like the category, because they had it up basically of all music categories.
Okay.
But I think in each final round for each category, whether it's bands, artists, there was I think 4 finalists. So once you got down to those, the city could just vote or whoever.
Okay.
But yep.
Dope. So was it just that you were putting your music up on like their website and people would vote for that, or was there like a live act that everybody got to check out?
Well, at first there was like you got to like they would take like open votes. So like you could nominate whoever you wanted to be be a nomination for the award. And so we shared that link. We had a bunch of people write in our name, and it was pretty funny because like when they posted all the nominations, they misspelled our name Memory Lane. And so we we kind of poked a little bit of fun at that and ran with the joke. And
does that happen often?
It definitely helps. Yeah, actually, when
I can imagine.
A couple times we've gone to shows and like we'll see like the chalkboard outside with all the bands, and it says Memory Lane, and then we have to go in and tell the guy, oh yeah, can you change it to an M?
Right. Is there another band called Memory Lane?
Not that I know of, but it makes for a good.
Yeah, you guys should fight.
Yeah,
like find them.
Problem. Yeah.
We're gonna start seeking out bands that are named Memory Lane, and we're gonna battle them.
This is the Kendrick Drizzy beef for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice, man. Well, I know that we just talked about Time Blind. I want to play it for everybody to hear if that's cool with you.
Definitely.
All right, let's do it. Here we go.
great.
Whoops.
So, talk to us about some of your influences when creating the songs. Like, what kind of bands did you listen to growing up? What inspired you to, write the music that you write now?
So I grew up listening to like 90s alternative rock. So like Nirvana is like one of my favorite bands of all time. And I'm pretty sure it translates through the music.
That shows.
Sonic Youth is also up there as being one of my top bands, which also is reflecting through the music. But I mean, I listen to, I've been trying to branch out with what I listen to lately. And it hasn't really been going well. I just cycle back into the same old things, but I've been listening to a lot of stuff that I've forgotten. So like Beck, I've listened to like Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass Band.
Okay. Little Spanish Flea.
Yeah. So, Gary Newman, Pixies. Yeah. Pavement. I mean, I kind of revolve around the alternative rock stuff, but like I try to branch out into like some of the other genres.
That's where I kind of meet Ron and Phil in that aspect of that genre for sure. Like I'm a 90s alternative grunge person, I Soundgarden, really anything Chris Cornell, Audio Slave Project, Soundgarden, his solo stuff. I like Deftones, System of a Down. I like a lot of the new metal stuff, which I get, that's my guilty pleasures, and I get a lot of shit from these guys. but we all meet in the, the 90s, I think, and some of the new wave stuff from the 80s, and I know Phil's a big, 70s and 80s punk fan too, so if he wants to take it from there.
Yeah, I know for me personally, I was a late adopter of the Ramones. I only just got into them within the past couple of years, but I got into them very, very much so. And I think for me, they've been at least recently a big influence just in terms of like, okay, this is it. There's 3 chords. They're all power chords. Yep. It's verse, chorus. That's it. But somehow all those songs are great, and I love every one of them.
And they're all downstrokes.
Nothing but. But for me, that kind of laid it out where it's like, all right, like this, you don't have to, make up a bunch of jazzy chords. You don't have to have like these crazy arrangements or anything like that. Like if you can make, F, C, and G sound good, then you can, and once you get that done, then you're home free.
Yeah. We'll start with you, Phil. Who's your favorite bass player?
I definitely like some of the guys that are more melodic, like Andy Rourke from the Smiths. I thought he's probably one of the great underrated musicians of all time. Just playing across from Johnny Marr. Obviously, everyone's going to be like Johnny Marr's like a god at guitar, but you don't really notice the counterpoint that he can provide, especially like, and not, it's easy to just, especially with someone like Johnny Marr, who's such a talented player and has all these layers of guitars, to just kind of like hang out on a root note forever and ever. But Andy Rourke always manages to add some contrary motion and some good melodic stuff to his bass lines. So yeah, he's definitely a big one. I like Klaus Fluoride from the Dead Kennedys too, kind of able to kind of drive at stuff, but also kind of have a little bit more motion to some of his lines and stuff like that. So I would say generally people that are a little bit more active, since that tends to be how I tend to play as well.
Nice. Sure. Who's your favorite drummer?
I mean, definitely his influence wise is, I gotta say probably Dave Grohl.
There you go.
Just, cause he's kind of just, kind of the way I was like, or I am, like I'm self-taught for the most part. One thing I think that works really cool as a band is that we all are multi-musicians. Like I play guitar and bass, and these guys drum, and which is cool. But Dave Grohl has always been like a self-taught guy. No bullshit. Never really took lessons and just kind of raw. But him, and then I would say Matt Cameron of Pearl Jam and Soundgarden as well.
Yeah, Temple of the Dog.
Grew up listening. Yep, Temple of the Dog. Yep, yeah. Thank you. Yeah,
awesome. What about you? Who's your favorite guitarist?
I would have to say Adrian Belew of King Crimson.
Oh,
Yeah, and it's not for the reason that you would think. Like he is an insanely talented guitarist, but like where it comes for me is his use of effects pedals. And so like when I first started playing guitar, when I was like 10 years old, I saw this video of him basically explaining how he gets these crazy sounds. Like he can make his guitar sound like an elephant. And I was like, how do I do that? And then I realized he's using all these different effects. And I was like, maybe guitar isn't all just about sounding like a guitar. Like you can have it sound like anything. If this guy can make it sound like an elephant, I can make it sound like something totally different from guitar.
Yeah.
So I that really struck a chord with me as like a young musician just learning his instrument. Struck a chord. Yeah.
Yeah.
No pun
I wasn't going to say it, but yeah.
Pun intended now. But yeah, no, I kind of like guitarists who are innovative in terms of not, branching outside of what a guitar can sound like.
Yeah, I mean, when I picked up my first guitar, it was very heavily influenced and motivated by like Tom Morello for that same reason. So yeah. I totally understand where you're coming from there. Awesome.
Yeah.
I think Isaac Brock is also like a good modern player that kind of has his own style, especially like harmonics and like the whammy bar and stuff like that. But he's a good.
Definitely.
I think he adds a little bit of a newer shade too.
Yeah. Who out there in your scene right now, like your colleagues in what you're doing, like any shout outs that you guys want to give that some of your friends that are doing the thing out there with you?
Definitely. Yeah. We should shout out Zygmunt.
Yeah, I'm actually wearing that shirt.
Okay.
We should shout out Bike Thrasher.
Yep.
Who else?
I would say our buddies Young Man Winner.
Yes.
Between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Our colleagues also, because Phil is also in this band, Super Jerk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Screw those guys.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
But we have a nice collection of bands that we've been playing with, and like there's definitely a solid scene in Worcester. So
nice.
It helps kind of get stuff going and to keep stuff going when there's a good creative pool around you.
Cool, man. Well, wanted to play the next song. I know you guys are interested in playing more of the newer stuff, but was this the song that was released before Timeline, Apathy?
Yes. So that was released on Halloween last year. And we had like this whole like music video that like went along with it, and just some weird imagery.
Okay.
Fun.
Well, let's play it. Here we go.
Yeah.
slide. And when I sleep, I can't help but feel complete. Everything feels right. And brainwashing me to set myself free. There's no place to hide.
Yeah, this one, absolutely, I'm hearing, you know, how busy the bass could be in relation to the guitars and the drums. Everybody's just working together towards that cool feel, man. Who produces your music? Is it the same person every time, or do you guys... You do? Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it sounds great,
So, thank you. We worked with a producer, or not a producer, but we worked with an engineer the first time we recorded like our album.
Shout out to Roger.
Yeah, Roger. He did great.
Roger LaValle.
And then like during the pandemic and stuff, we were just kind of, whenever we could meet up, we would record whatever we would do. And so I started kind of just taking on more of our, more of the responsibility of the mixing and like how I think it should sound. Cause like a lot of these songs, like when we play them, I already get a sound in mind of like how it should sound on an album or a release. And so I kind of have an easier time working toward that end goal.
Yeah.
If I have control of it.
During Timeblind, I see that you did this cool stereo thing in that, like towards the end of it too. So
yeah. So that was just experimentation. I had a ton of guitars recorded for that song. And there's this one that I use, this weird pedal that like just kind of glitches out your sound. And so I was like, oh, wouldn't that be interesting if I like moved it from speaker to speaker?
Right on.
So,
well, you were talking about effects earlier before we played the song. I mean, just if we're all gearheads here, what do you use?
Yeah. Well, I have for effects. I mean, I have a bunch of distortion and overdrive pedals. And then I use a small clone chorus, a Rainbow Machine by Earthquaker. I have The Mood by Chase Bliss, which is that weird pedal that kind of glitches out your sound. It's like a sampler. And then a couple of delays, a reverb. I have a 1971 or 72 Fender Quad reverb. And for a guitar, I mostly play a Jazzmaster.
Okay, right on. Any effects on the bass, Phil?
As little as possible. Okay. I'm like complete opposite of Ron. Ron's got like this whole elaborate board with like multiple tiers and like different colored pedals and like fancy switches and stuff. I have a tuner and I have a compression pedal.
Okay.
That's all I use. I bought the compression pedal. Actually, it was just like, I kind of bought it by accident too. But yeah, I just, I'm not really like an effects person. For like, I totally get, I get the appeal. It's just not in me. Like for me, instead of seeing it as a creative tool, I kind of for me, it's more of like a barrier between me and what I want to play. Like it's another thing I have to make a decision about, and another thing that I have to kind of like keep track of instead of like, I just kind of want to think about what I'm playing, like the part itself. But that's probably just me not being very experienced in the effects in general. But yeah, I keep it basic overall.
Regardless, it sounds good when y'all are doing your thing. Now, speaking of pedals, you guys did a commercial, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Headrush. So yeah, our buddy Brian, he works, or I don't know if he still does, but he was with the company Headrush, and they were coming out with this new pedal, the MX5, and I think that was like kind of like his baby of the company. So he was like in charge of like marketing that and like getting the pedal like a good promotion. So he lives right up the road from us, and he was like, "Hey, do you guys want to be in a pedal commercial?" And I was like, "Tell me more." And so he was like, "Yeah, he showed us what it did and all that stuff." And he was like, "Come up with a song and send it to me, and then we'll shoot you guys like just messing around, and we'll try and create a story out of it." And so that was fun. It took a couple of days. One day it was just me and Brian, and then the other day we had full band in the garage.
Yeah, we did it like in his garage at home, and like, and then the other half of it was Brian like running around the city. And but Brian's also in that band Between 3 and 4, one of the shout outs we gave. So that's how we know him. We know him through the scene, and he worked for Headrush at the time, and it was just a cool opportunity. And we were like, yeah, this is a lot of fun. So works.
I noticed that in your earlier days as a band, you released EPs and that kind of thing. And something that I've noticed a lot of bands are doing, especially post-pandemic, are just doing singles. Is that kind of the plan right now? Just do single after single?
Yeah, well, it just seems like everybody's like into singles. Like a new single is released. I mean, like how quick did Kendrick Lamar and all them drop those songs? Like within minutes of each other, or half hours of each other.
Yeah.
And it's nuts. So like it's definitely a singles market right now.
Totally.
And it just seems like the right way to go.
Yeah, it's
Especially
easier
with the streaming and the way.
It's easier to give attention to a single rather than a collection of songs where enough time goes by, you can only like focus on promoting maybe a couple of those songs in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It just seems like nobody has the time to sit down and listen to a full album anymore.
Yeah.
I do, but it doesn't seem like anybody else does.
Well, a lot of the things I see too is like people will release single after single, and then at the end of it all, they put it as a collection of an EP or an album. So it's like they hype up each song rather than just releasing all at once,
Yeah.
So
Nice. Well, wanted to play the last song that you guys were interested in having us play here, Spider Legs. Was this a part of one of the EPs?
That was off our album that we did with Roger.
Okay.
And yeah.
Cool. Well, let's hear it. Here we go. man, Spider Legs. In an album that was released when we were all knuckle deep into the pandemic.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Well, I mean, we were kind of like hoping that like we could release it and then like maybe play some shows, but like there were no shows happening at that time. And I think we were able to do one show that was like in that period
Outside
where it was, like,
Ralph's,
outside at Ralph's, where they were like just starting to lift like the indoor show ban, and they were like moving shows outside. Yeah, play outside.
Yeah.
And then those got shut down for a little bit, but
What a weird time, man.
yeah.
Crazy.
But I mean, during that time, we also wrote like a bunch of songs. One of them being Apathy, and I think Time Blind as well.
Yeah.
We wrote during the pandemic, and like we're just releasing these now. But yeah.
Yeah.
Weird time.
We have a wind up. Like we usually, it seems like we've been recording, like going into the studio like once a year, and then like it takes us like a full year to kind of get all the songs like recorded and then out.
Yeah.
And then by the time they're all out, we always have another batch to go through. So it's kind of a good
it's a good cycle.
Continuum.
Yeah.
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 Cool.
Yeah. Now that everything's open, you guys are playing more shows coming up?
Yeah, we got a show at Ralph's.
Yeah. Ralph's Rock Diner is kind of like our home, in Worcester. It's like the place we play. It's the place everybody gathers. It's just, there are other like smaller venues and stuff, but Ralph's is just kind of the spot. It's just the place that everybody can play. It's a solid stage. You can get a good crowd there. And
Husker Du played there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's been around forever.
Yeah.
Wow.
We got that coming up. Sorry.
What are your plans for the summer?
Well, we're gonna take a couple of months off, and then we'll probably get going back up in August.
Yeah, we usually take July off as far as from shows, just because summertime and like people go away and stuff. But it's a good time for us just to kind of chill. But between June and July, we'll probably go back in the studio and touch up some stuff and record some newer stuff too that hasn't been released that we've been messing around with. And then August, September. We like doing the weekender tours. We want to get down to Philly. We had good exposure in Brooklyn, New York. We want to get back out there, get up to Portland, Maine. There's a lot of cool places in the Northeast that we can do. So
yeah. Any plans to come to California?
That would be amazing. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you have
Hopefully
friends
someday.
here in California now. If you guys ever want to swing by, we'll put something together.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Networking. Yep.
Well,
Perfect.
yeah, just let everybody know where we can find you online, man. Like Instagram, just throw everything out there.
Yeah, we're on. So I think most of our handles are the same. It's Memory Lame MA, because we're from Massachusetts. But yeah, Instagram. That's what it is. We're on Bandcamp, so if you want to like go and like actually purchase any of the music, or even if you, I think we have some stuff that's on there. I don't even know.
Yeah.
But Bandcamp is our Memory Lame MA at .bandcamp.com. Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
We're on
YouTube Music.
Yeah, YouTube Music.
Facebook.
Yeah, go check out our YouTube too. I'm pretty sure Memory Lame MA.
Yeah.
And
FC music video and what was it? Fuck it. Yeah, we had a single called Fuck It back in the day. We did a music video for it too. So
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet,
I think
man.
that's everything.
yeah. And our email is memorylame@gmail.
Yeah. So if you want to like book us, reach out.
An email to sign up for a 10% off promo code when you're buying something.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Right on. All right. Well, and that's Memory Lame with an M. Everybody, to get it right.
Yes.
Well, thanks guys for being on. This was great. I've been playing your music all week ever since I discovered you. Thanks to Steph here, of course. And
Thank you.
yeah, it's when I'm at my desk at work, it's what I pop into my ears. I was really becoming real familiar with you guys' stuff, so I'm really digging it. Don't stop. I mean, just keep going. And then just for anybody in the music scene out there, just to help each other out, man. You can only grow together. So
Definitely.
Yeah, dude.
Well said.
Ron, Joey, Phil, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for
All right,
having
guys.
us.
All right, man. Well, that was great.
Those are awesome guys.
Yeah, I just like talking gear and like the process behind writing songs, because everybody's a little different. And it's funny because we all went through the same collective, I guess, trauma of COVID.
Yeah.
And so just everybody has like their own perspective, their own point of view of like what happened during that time. Like they released a full album in the summer of 2020. What was it like for them? It was just such a weird time. I harken back to when my band had all these shows booked up, and then just weekend after weekend just started dropping like flies of shows that we had booked that year. And that was supposed to be a big year. That whole year was fucked because wasn't 420 like on a Friday or something like that?
Yeah.
Cinco de Mayo was on a Friday or Saturday.
No, it was
so
on Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday.
That's what it was.
St. Patrick's Day was also like on a weekend. Like everything was all lined up for it to be like one of the more party type of years, and it just went to hell real quick. It's the year we lost Kobe too, earlier that year.
Yeah. It was definitely a hard year for bands. We saw a lot of bands like essentially break up.
Yeah.
A lot of the smaller bands didn't make it.
Yeah. But here we are, man. We're still chugging. I'm glad that they survived. I hope they continue making music. Like I said during the interview, they really remind me of like that 1995-98 period. Local H, it was one of the bands that I threw out there that I really, really love. They're still making music even. Band from Illinois. If you guys aren't familiar with them, check them out. They've been around forever. But Memory Lane, everybody, just go add them to your Spotify, your Apple Music. They're good guys. But anything else what we got here, Steph?
I think that'll do it.
Thank you all so very much for listening into the Foo Bar Show, and a special thanks to you Foos who subscribe, rate, review, and share the pod with your fellow Foos. Remember to follow, like, and comment on our Instagram and TikTok at Foo Bar Show. That's F the Below Bar Show, and we'll foo it up like a couple of Foos. I've been Josie.
Now I'm Steph.
Don't be a dick!
Fuck, man. Thank you guys.